Internet! What's up, Internet? What's going on? I feel like my voice is going out. So much craziness out here. What is my hair doing today? It's like going buck wild. What is going on, everybody? Happy episode 666, the number of the beast. Oh, I've got sawdust in my beard. I'm wearing a bright red shirt, you guys. I went all out. I'm wearing a red shirt. I went all out for the 666 episode and managed to put together wearing a red shirt. But glorious episode 666, the long-awaited episode of 666. A lot of people were excited for some craziness, and I will tell you, not to disappoint, today has been crazy. Yesterday has been crazy. You guys will notice that the title of the show here is Aquariums? Will they hold back the chickening? I would like to let everyone know that it is the time for the chickening. And what is the chickening? I know a lot of people out there are wondering, what is the chickening? What is this madman talking about? What does he mean when he says the chickening? Well, the chickening has begun, and if you hang around long enough for the video, around long enough for the video, which I'm going to have to do manually, you guys, which is going to be a little bit crazy. Boy, howdy, do I wish I knew who was calling me right now, because I would put them on speakerphone. Oh, I don't know who it is, though, and I was going to put them on speakerphone, but that wouldn't be cool. They'd probably say something weird like, "Hey, Farty McFartbutt," you know, and I'd be like, "Hey, man, listen, you can't just be calling me up and saying Farty McFartfart. You know, you can't be doing that. It's Friday, and it's episode 666, and I think a lot of people are getting excited. A lot of people are coming out of their hiding from the winter, me included, along with Vicky Toria. The chickening has begun. What is the chickening? It is a giant project, which you guys will be ever so lucky to see portions of today during the video madness. The video madness today will encompass part of the chickening. Get it right, the chickening. It's sort of like a play on Highlander and the quickening. You know, it's like there can be only one McLeod. It's the chickening. So there's a lot of stuff going on, which will eventually turn into. So a quick explanation would be a giant project, and I don't want to get into a quick explanation because we've only been live for 3 minutes, and I don't even know why I'm getting into the quick explanation, you guys. We need to get into the saying hello. Oh, it's my sister. Hold on. Now my sister's calling. Let's put my sister on here. Hello. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show. This is the call-in hour. You're live on the internet. There's, let's see. How many people? 100 and something people. You're not on speaker or anything, but what's up? I'll call you back. You have a goldfish that are attacking each other? My gosh, my sister has goldfish that are attacking each other. Which, yeah. Well, you got a problem. You probably have too many goldfish in too small of a tank. That would be probably the issue. You have overcrowded, probably. You need either a bigger aquarium or just one giant goldfish to eat them all. Right. So, yeah, just depends on the size of your tank and how many goldfish you got in there, you know. It'll be overcrowded. Yep. That's pretty much, that could be the ongoing problem. All right, my sister, I love you. I'll call you later. Oh, bye-bye. Well, an impromptu call from my sister about goldfish. Goldfishes, because they're so delicious. Hey, look at that. We've already got people calling in. The episode 666, we've got callers. We've got people calling in. You know, who knows? Who knows what could possibly happen on this show? My family members could call. We have a whole bunch of super chats we're going to get to. But first off, I'd like to say hi to everybody hello to everybody who is in the early chat. Frank Dominguez, as reported, was #1 to the chat. So thank you very much, Frank Dominguez. Followed by, hold on, I want to get this right. Douglas Palmer and Charlie List, Phil Emerson, and Savannah Morrow. And now I'm going to pop out the chat. There we go. And, of course, we're going to lose a whole bunch of people. So when I do the pop-out chat, you guys, it drags over and then it loses a whole bunch of information. I said earlier in the show, or earlier in the week, that Wednesday was going to be the last episode with the chat in it. YouTube has made some changes, and yet they still have not gone into effect yet. So Monday might be the last day, which I'm pretty excited for because I have a lot of plans in the works for the live stream here, the live show, and we're going to be doing some kind of new stuff with the layout. We got some new camera work coming in because I'm going to be able to bring in the other camera. I'm going to do a live tutorial for let's see here, Mellow Moogle. I almost said her real name. We're going to do a live tutorial for Mellow Moogle on how to trim Anubias and Bulbitis. We're actually going to do those live, which is going to be kind of cool, which means I got to build some more stuff and make some cameras and stuff, but that's going to be good. And then today, I don't think I have the screenshot of the Patreon, but we're going to run through because as traditional on Fridays, we run through the Patreon posts, the Patreon questions, the Patreon people. Mellow Moogle, one of the things that was posted on the Patreon was Mellow Moogle wanted to ask about Anubias trimming, and I thought, wow, you know what, I could make a video, which I might end up making a video about it anyhow, but I think I could bring some in here and actually just cut it on, during the live stream and be like, dude, here's this part. This is the twiddly bits that hang off the boobly oops. You know what I mean? And so we'll be able to run through a lot of these questions that are on here. I wonder if I can do the screen capture live. I don't know if I'm able to do that or not without accidentally, giving away our secret location here, the secret lair. Oh, there's lots of paintings behind me, Phil. I just noticed that into the chat. Let's see here. All right, so I want to say hi to some people, give some shout-outs because it's Friday. Ow, I just pinched my finger. Look at this. This just pinched 3 of my fingers. Yikes. Try to move the mic. Good luck. You get all your fingers pinched. What's up? The D. Thomas CG. The D. Thomas CG. The D. Thomas CG. What's up, man? Rogers Aquariums here. JH Aquatics. Barbara Jackson. Savannah Morrow. Guppy Guru is here. Mr. B's Fishing Things. Kyle Paith. Wushu Jimmy Brown. Candy Overhauls. 54 Punchy. Mateo 5001. JH Aquatics. Heather Varuna Aquatics. Wushu. I'm going to say Wushu again. Wushu Jimmy Brown. Wushu Jimmy Brown. What's up, my man? Pam Newman. How you doing? Mellow Moogle is here. Aqua Naturalist is here. Mason French. Running through the list. DMC of the Sea. What's up, Internet? What are you doing? The Zombie Drummer is here with the number of the beast. I gotta get to these super chats before we run out of time. Let's see. Dank Tanks is here. Joel G from New Zealand is here. Heather from Varuna Aquatics. I already said. I'm gonna say it again. Dank Tanks. Gene Tesk. Hello, everyone. Got off work early and finally get to watch the show live. Yes, that's the way to do it because it's Friday. Just get off work early and just do that. Rumbust is here. What is up? Itch Badoinkle. Finally, Ernest Borgnine or Hermes Borgnino, if you know what I'm saying. That's quality. One giant goldfish to eat them all. Yeah, it would be the goldfishing, right? It wouldn't be the chickening or the quickening. It'd be the goldfishing. Dude. We've got a bunch of super chats here, and I feel like, my gosh, I should run through them real quick because they're starting to pile up, and I don't know if I'll be able to get to them or not if we don't start saying what's up. So anybody I missed, sorry, it's not on purpose. I got to get to these super chats. Mr. Potato Bro with the pre-show super chat. Throwing a little tip in the jar from the potato himself. Thank you, my man. Hopefully we'll be down to Portland soon and hang out. I'm thinking it's not this month, but probably next month. I'm not sure how the math works with handling math and stuff, and I just realized that we might have a slight issue here with our camera control. What if we do, well, let's go, whoa. Oh, let's just set it. Oh, if we change the exposure, it makes the video all crazy. All right, fine. You can control yourself, Mr. Controller Man. Okay. We'll hit the OK button. All right, sorry about that. Thank you, Potato. Hopefully we'll be down in Oregon, in your neck of the woods sometime soon. We can hang out. Or maybe you're coming up here for the Reef Extravaganza. Reef Expo is this Saturday, so which is tomorrow. Which I'll actually be I'll be showing up for that. Probably like 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, something like that. I don't think I'm going to show up super early or anything like that. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll show up early. I don't know. I got to try and meet some people there, so I'm going to see if it works that we can all meet up or not. Guppy Guru with the... Oh, wait, hold on. We got so many super chats here, I can't even figure it out. Rumbust with the Swedish Krone 666. Swedish Krones. You'll have to imagine the appropriate language for this and squint away that last digit. No question. You'll have to make one up. Stay rumbustious. Thank you, Rumbust, my guy. I do have some questions. I'll make some up at some point in time, I'm sure. But thanks for the super chat. Guppy Guru with the $1.99 super chat, taking advantage of the fact that you can iPhone super chats now. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Thank you. And he says, it's 666 and no chat on screen anymore. Rest in peace, hashtag Peru. Well, thank you, Guppy Guru. I appreciate it. Well, so the thing is, like, to answer that, no more chat on screen, is that it won't have to be put into the show. YouTube is actually going to have the chat play back right next to the video, even if it's not live. So you won't be able to chat on the replay, but the chat that you post will actually... So the chat that's going on in the show will actually play next to the replay of the stream. So it's sort of like how you have the chat open now and you can like read the chat, but you can interact with the chat because you're actually here. It'll play back next to it, which is the reason I always put the chat into the video on screen was because, you know, YouTube never did any of that. They never did that. So if people would come back to the replay and I'm just like laughing at stuff and like replying to things, they would just be like, I don't understand why this maniac is, what is he doing? Who's he talking to? What is happening? So it'd make it very difficult for people to watch the replay. which is my whole reason for ripping the chat and putting it into the video, was because if somebody was going to come watch the replay, then they'd actually be able to like understand like what was happening, because the chat would be going by and they'd be like, oh, okay, he's talking to, he's talking to Dank Tanks, he's talking to Savannah or Guppy Guru or whoever, and then they'd be able to figure it out. But YouTube is actually going to do that now, but they're sort of dragging their heels on getting it launched out for whatever reason. Even though they launched it days ago, it's not working yet. So hopefully it'll probably be sorted out by Monday, I'm guessing, and be rocking and rolling by then. But we're definitely going to have to sort that out as time goes on here. And if it's not figured out by Monday, I'll just put the chat into the video. Until YouTube gets it sorted, I'll just keep putting the chat in. I thought they would have it figured out by today, but nope. I mean, maybe they do, and I don't know. But I went to look back at some live streams, and the playback's not working yet. So I don't know, but it will at some point in time. Whew. That's a long answer. Weldon Aquatics with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Weldon Aquatics. I appreciate it. It says, 666 never looks so good. Hashtag Corvus makes me poop. Thank you. Thanks, my man. Joel G from New Zealand with the New Zealand 333 super chat. Half beast done. Mild extra hot sauce on the side. I can't wait to actually get to go to New Zealand. You guys, Vicky's passport already showed up yesterday. Mine is not here, as far as I know. I'm probably going to have to wait the full 7 weeks. They're probably sifting through the nonsense. But currently the plan is to go to New Zealand next February. So, February, it would be a blessing for me to get to visit New Zealand. I have always wanted to visit New Zealand. My grandma used to go there quite a bit when I was much younger, and she would tell me about it, and I just always wanted to go to New Zealand. Not to mention like all the nature stuff you guys got going on, the crazy mountains and the nonsense. Hunting hobbits, just a regular day-to-day stuff for you guys is very exciting. It's very exciting for me to get a chance to try and go to New Zealand. So we're hoping that February is going to work, is what Vicky and I's plan is. So maybe somebody wants to run into Vicky and I in New Zealand. I guess February next year would be the time to try and do that. Kyle Paith with the $6.66 super chat. Thank you very much. No question. Nothing on there. So I'll just keep talking about New Zealand. One of the things that I'm very excited about going to check out in New Zealand is to actually go see some of the elk, the crazy elk that they got going on there. I mean, I don't know what it's like as a tourist or something, like if you can just go hunting or whatever, or how any of that works. I'll obviously sort out some of that stuff ahead of time. It might be one of those things where they're like, yeah, you can go, it costs $5,000. And I'd be like, no, never mind. That sounds crazy. But I don't know how that necessarily works, but I'm at the very least, I'm excited to go, just go see some of the herds and stuff, because that is really cool. Plus, there's a ton of cool, small, what do you call them? Like small format farms that are going on out there. Plus, what am I thinking of here? What is it? Sheep? The sheep and the goats and all that kind of crazy farming that's going on out there. I'd be excited to see all that kind of stuff too. So, I don't know. I'm just excited if I get the chance to go there. Zombie Drummer with the $3.21 with the 321 super chat saying, engage lurk mode. Carry on, Oceaneers. I hope I hope the Oceaneers isn't taken. You know what? I haven't been able to find it. I haven't been able to find anybody ever saying Oceaneers before, but it just sounds right. And we've also got another super chat from the Zombie Drummer with the 666 super chat, the number of the beast. I know some people were asking like if I could play metal or anything like that in the background. I cannot, by the way. I cannot play copyrighted material in the background. See that pause there? Make people think their computers are broken. But I can't play copyrighted material in the background on YouTube. I know that Twitch you can get away with it, I think. But no, I can't play famous hits unless I like buy the rights to the song or whatever to be able to play it ahead of time. But I will say this, the licensing for that is absurd, because I'd have to pay ahead of time for, what is it, like however many people. It's like per how many people have heard it. It's kind of weird. So they'd be like, oh, like 1,000 people are going to listen to it, so you got to pay for 1,000 people or 2,000 people or whatever. It's super bizarro. So, and you know what's strange is, what's super strange is that they, what's the word? What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? The strange part. The strange part is, I don't know. I'm going to trail off and just act like I made a point, but I didn't. Either way, it certainly has a, I don't know. Either way, I just can't afford it. So no, I can't play any metal in the background. Sorry. Either way, I don't know. I don't know if I even explained that very well, but whatever. Let's move on. Niels Hansen with the, I don't know what the DKK is. I forget. I think that's Danish, right? DKK. $2. Here we go. Danish krones. Yes, that's the Danish money, which looks like it's back. It's gaining momentum. It's gaining strength. It was doing well, and then it had a drop. They had some kind of recession going on, and now it looks like it's climbing back up. With the Danish krones. Saying, great show, Corvus. Greetings from Denmark. Which, I guess if I had read what was on there, I probably would have been like, oh yeah, that's Danish money because it's Denmark. Yeah, smart. LG3 Nation with the 333 super chat. I ate a taco today. Hashtag blessed. You are blessed, my man. I ate a piece of cold old pizza today. That's all I've had to eat. And yet, I've been swinging a hammer, running a saw, running around, putting a roof on a thing, getting crazy, building stuff. So I'm kind of hungry at this point. I think I'm gonna make some. Breakfast burritos after the show here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's the plan. Let's see here. Let's answer a couple of questions. What's going on in the chat here? Niz the One is asking, are you into graffiti art? Yeah, I am. I'm into the graffiti mural style. But I'm not into the just graffiti for the sake of graffiti, if that makes sense. I'm more into the idea of making murals and stuff. I know that sounds weird and whatnot, but I think there's a much easier, simpler way to be a graffiti artist, and that would be to not deface other people's stuff, considering there's probably somebody right down the street that would be like, dude, I want you to paint a mural here. How much is that going to cost? You would be surprised like how many people out there are into it. You know, how many people are into it, and they'd be like, dude, I got this giant wall back here, and yeah, I like... what would they be like? What would they be liking? They'd be liking hobbits and elk and New Zealand stuff. And they'd be like, could you do a giant painting of like some elk and New Zealand stuff here? The Lord of the Rings? And a lot of people would be stoked for that. So that's the direction I've always gone. So, you know, painting overpasses or bombing things or anything like that is just not It's not my jam. Certainly not my jam. Certainly not my jam to, like, go to jail. Boop, 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 boop. Jeremy Zielinski says, hola, DMC of the sea. Hello, how you doing? JH Aquatic, what's up? Wish you Jim around. He said, lurking, stalking, lurking. It's Michael said, sorry, I was trying not to eavesdrop on your phone call, but I couldn't help it. Yeah, that was my sister. Mateo says, don't go Hollywood on us. Well, I don't know why I would do that. This is as Hollywood as I get, man. I put on a red shirt, brah. Let's see. Savannah Morrow says, like, shared, loved, and watching. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Mason French, missed so many shows because I was working on my Eagle Scout project last week. Oh, that's good, though. It's good to get your Eagle Scout project all wrapped up, because I can tell you this much. You know, if you get that Eagle Scout, that ain't easy to do. I don't know what it does for you long term in the world or anything. I don't know if it's a credential that really ever, like, you know, I don't know if it ever really, like, you know, you can't. I don't know. I guess it's a good credential wherever you go. I mean, I don't know if it'll get you a job or anything like that, but definitely worth it to finish it out. I think the old story that I've told here a few times has been that I got kicked out of the Boy Scouts. Me and my whole group, we all got kicked out of the Boy Scouts because we was misbehaving or something. I don't know. We weren't earning enough badges or getting an Eagle Scoutage. We were just there to camp and do all the fun stuff. And so I appreciate you going for your Eagle Scout, because I never got there. But Heather from Veruna Aquatics asks, hi, Douglas Palmer. We made it through the week. Happy Friday. Oh, that's not a question. Let's see. Hi from Portland. Our long-time less creepy lurker, first-time chatter from Zach Taylor. What's up, Zach? Always feel free to chat. You can always throw something into the chat. I know some people prefer to throw things up onto the Patreon, or they like sending me emails. I don't know if I have any emails that I need to reply. Oh, okay. I got some pretty easy emails. Today. I got a couple of really complicated emails that I still have to reply to. But I know some people don't really want to jump into the chat, but I'll tell you, never fear. Feel free to jump into the chat. It's definitely worthwhile, and most everybody here is pretty darn awesome possum. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Elsden. He's here. It's Friday. It's going pretty good. Savannah Morrow is getting critical about my pronunciation of your name. I know. I wish I knew how to say things better, but I don't. But yeah, Morrow. Yes, not Marrow. Yeah. Yes, got it. I'm trying here, man. It's hard to go through all the names because, like, Robert Recapito is super hard. Licks Nibbles, that one's... took me a minute to even figure that one out. Let's see. Mellow Moogle says, are you in the giving mood? Click the link to see Joel's Amazon wish list. Hey, man, if you're in the giving mood, feel free to pop on over to the GoFundMe for the Overhauls family. They are fighting the battle of leukemia with Caleb, and it is an ongoing battle, and I'm not going to share anybody, I'm not going to share any information that nobody wants to know, but that struggle is ongoing, and we need some help. That's really what we need. I don't know what else to do, but we need some help, and I'm definitely doing the darndest I can to raise things for it. And I've got some things in the works that I'm going to be implementing very soon. I thought I'd be able to implement some of it today. Honestly, the schedule's getting pushed back just because things are taking much longer. Because I was explaining to Vicky the other day, I feel like one of those weirdos in the circus that has all the plates spinning on the long sticks, and I've just got too many of them. And I need to get like a 20 gauge shotgun and just shoot a couple of those plates right off, and stop trying to spin so many of them. So hopefully a couple things will get finished and completed, and be able to be like, all right, I'm not doing that anymore. And then hopefully some of the other stuff will go on. The GoFundMe is in the chat. If anybody needs to click on it, go check it out. It's the easiest thing to do would be to share it. That's the simplest thing. Not necessarily asking for anybody to do anything other than that. But it's sort of a response to if you're in the giving mood. I would much prefer you guys give to them. You know, I don't know, man. I'm so blessed to, you know, have only died a couple of times, and I'm still here. You know what I mean? I've been through a bunch of nonsense myself. At the time, I was lucky to have a community that helped me out. Long story short, I had collapsed lungs, ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks. Had a liver, kidney, bladder, all infection. Then I also had pneumonia and staph and MRSA from being in the hospital, along with the collapsed lung. And you know, just to make that story short, basically when I got out of the hospital, they were like, look, you can't work for 90 days. And I was like, you know, there's no way I can't work. There's just, you know, but if you look at my frame right now, you guys have probably seen a lot of videos of me, right? So you're like, okay, this guy's like just shy of 6 foot. He's probably about 175. You know, fighting weight. It's my fighting weight. And so that's about where I was at when I got out of the hospital. I was 128 pounds, I think. So then I just had to go like, okay, look, they won't let me work for like 3 months. So I basically had to try and rehab, but I'd lost pretty much all of the muscle that I was carrying. So it was pretty difficult, man. It took a lot. I was like, it was crazy. There was a certain point where I couldn't like walk from one side of the apartment to the other side. Like I'd have to take a break. You know what I mean? Like I'd have to like walk over here, like sit down, like, wait for a little bit, like get up, like walk to the other side. It was pretty chaotic. And then, so about 40 days out from the hospital, I was basically like, I was going to get, I had all these bills piling up because I had to pay rent, I had to do all this stuff, and I didn't have any money saved up for it. And when about 40 days in, I was like, look, I'm just gonna go back to work. Like they can't tell me not to do whatever I gotta do, right? So I ended up sort of petitioning my job and being like, look, I need to come back to work. I gotta pay these bills and da-da-da-da. And my work at the time had literally put out like one of those big glass mayonnaise jars they're like the 1.5 gallon mayonnaise jars. They had literally put that out on the counter, so that when people would go up to the cashier, they'd be like, oh, there's a picture of that idiot that works here. He's not here. Where is he? He's in the hospital. He just got out, da-da-da-da. And they basically put out a tip jar for me, and sort of $1 at a time, I was able to, they basically like took a collection. I took all that money. I was able to just pay my rent for the 2 months and that kind of stuff. And I think after about, like 50 days or something in, I went back to work. And but you know, that was just like the local community from like the restaurant and the bar and all that kind of stuff that basically just chipped in, and they were like, dude, you know, because it happened at work, you know what I mean? But it wasn't an L&I thing because there wasn't, you know, I wasn't stabbed by somebody or anything like that. Not that time. Different time. But there wasn't really any accident. It just happened when I was at work. So there was no L&I or any of that kind of stuff. And basically, like, you know, the government here, I was like, okay, you know, I'm missing all this work. Like, can you guys, like, help me out? Because it's not like I don't want to go to work. It's like I can't go to work. I was sick, you know. And, you know, so it was a weird situation because they were like, well, you have to miss 180 days worth of work before we could kick in any kind of benefits to you, which is weird because I was like, look, I know I'm going to miss like 3 months of work or whatever, but I'm going to go back to work. And they were like, oh, well, that's good. Then you can go back to work. And I was like, yeah, but what do I do? But what do I do in the meantime? And they're like, I don't know, kick rocks around, you know? And so it was, you know, if it wasn't for the community, you know, basically just like a bunch of people kicking in a buck, and I probably just, it would have been a much different situation from there. So it was I don't know. So I hold a lot of value in that, like, community stuff and everything, and I hope I guess maybe I'm just sharing a story about something that happened to me that, like, you know, which is why I bring up the overhauls and the GoFundMe and that kind of stuff. Like, if you guys could throw in $1 or just to share it out there or something like that, I think that that's a bigger deal than really anything, you know what I mean, at this point. So, yeah, either way, hopefully you guys can, like, share it out, get the word out and stuff, because it does kind of freak me out that it's weird because there's oftentimes, like, when I talk to people, like, internationally, they're like, yeah, you live in America, you know, like, America is blah, blah, blah. It's, like, super fantastic. I'm like, yeah, it's a great country. It has a lot of problems, and I believe that one of them is that one of the big problems is that, like, if somebody gets sick, they're like, yeah, good luck. Oh, yeah, you got sick? Cool, man. We're going to need, like, a cool $150,000 from you. Oh, you don't have it. Oh. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit, it's weird being in this country, and then just kind of seeing how the system that is set up is just kind of like, oh, well, good luck to you. Hey, you know, so it's a little bit weird. It's weird, and you know, it's one of those things I just try to, I guess, at least just relate to people that that just the kind of craziness that goes into it is in this country is a lot of those things. Like, yeah, you're free. There's a lot of great things in this country that are fantastic, but it's also kind of freaky when it's just like everything's got to be paid for. Everything is this. Everything is that. You're like, oh, you clicked the wrong box on your insurance form, and so now we can't give you anything. You know, so it's a little bit weird. It's super crazy. Wow, they're just, I don't know. They're just tripping, basically. They tripping more than Fluval, you know what I mean? So, let's get back to the chat. Sorry, I went on a rambling tangent, as always. 48 tomorrow, it says, I broke my neck in '08. I was down for a full year. Luckily, my friends took care of my extensive reptile collection while I slowly shut down that phase of my life. Oh, man, that is crazy to hear. I hope everything's working out pretty well. It sounds like your friends really stepped in, which is awesome. It's crazy that you broke your neck. That sucks. Hopefully everything's going good now. I mean, I can relate. I've definitely been down the road of being in the hospital and all that kind of crazy stuff. So it's been a little bit nonsensical. But hopefully everything is turning around. Maybe you've moved on from reptiles onto the fish world and the plant world, planted aquariums, aquascapings, which would be dope, you know. Oh my God, Master Beta posted something during the show. Dean has a great way of posting during the show. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have this question from Gaddis Aquatics here, and I definitely, if Gaddis Aquatics is in the chat, go ahead and throw your chat in there. I don't have your. He was asking me a question about his channel, and I don't have his channel. I just have Gaddis Aquatics, and I can't find your channel online. But if you're in the chat, yeah. So, all right, let's see here. Let's check some stuff from Dan. Says insurance companies are problematic. 848 tomorrow says the USA defense budget is larger than all other countries combined. No wonder our healthcare is ridiculous. Yeah, well, we're happy to fund a whole bunch of new aircraft carriers, which is insane to me, by the way. When we have planes that can fly where the boats. We don't need boats to go fly, or, you know, we don't need boats to boat around the airplanes. It's just crazy. I don't know. We're willing to spend billions and billions of dollars on guns and boats and nonsense, and it's just crazy. And, you know, if I ever bring this stuff up, people always yell at me about how I'm supposed to respect the military, and I have a military family. I respect the military, I respect what they do. I don't respect our government for overspending constantly on rockets and bullets and missiles and things that explode. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. That is crazy. You know, but we can't afford healthcare, but we can afford $50 billion in boats so that we could boat our planes around. I'm going to tell you something. The Navy has flown no less than 20 or 30 flights over my house today. They're just flying these giant planes around. But we can't afford, you know, we can't afford health care. We can't afford that because we have to buy jet fuel to fly around gigantic murder planes. I don't know. It's crazy to me. But I don't know. This is episode 666, and I'm looking at this bright red shirt. Maybe it's making me crazy. Maybe I'm losing it, you guys. But, you know, I don't know. I'm off on this like crazy wild tangent, but this probably got something to do with the chickening, I'd guess. Ooh. Whoa, what do we got here? Oh my God, we got a fishy mailman super chat for 10 American dollars. He says, I contributed to the fund for the overhauls, but I still need to PM you on the Patreon for something else I would like to do for them. I've been busy doing my civic duty of jury duty the last 2 days. I will tell you, I had an enjoyable time doing jury duty. I only got to do like 2 days of it. But I have to admit, I had a really enjoyable time doing jury duty when I was doing it. Luckily, the fishy mailman, working for the government, I think you get fully compensated while you're doing that. I actually had to exclude myself when I got jury duty because I was like, this is a financial hardship. You guys are only paying me $5 a day. I've got a problem here because I have more than $5 a day bills. And it was kind of funny because one of the judges that was interviewing me for the jury duty, I was like, well, I'm not getting paid by the company I work for to be here. So, you know, the judge, she just looked at me and she goes, your company should pay you to be here. That really is the thing that you should do. Where do you work? I almost wondered if she had like sent a letter or something to my boss, like, Like, hey, you tripping? You better pay people. I don't know. It was kind of crazy, but Fishy Mailman, yes, for sure. PM me, email me, whatever. Let me know what you got in the works, because I got some plans in the works too. Maybe all of our fingers can come together like this, and then we'll combine forces like Voltron, and the powers that be will be able to strike fear into the hearts of whatever it is that we need to do. Leukemia, right? People are asking if I have lemons in the fridge. No one has nominated me for the lemon challenge, and I don't think I would do the lemon challenge. Personally, I don't know. I appreciate what is going on with that. It's like the ice bucket challenge. It's like all this other stuff. I think it's a great way for people to not do anything. I think I don't know. It seems weird to me. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to do the lemon challenge. I have other things to do. I'd rather go down to the food bank and feed some people. I'd rather, I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff I have to do that I would do long before that. So, no, if anybody nominates me for the lemon challenge, I will politely decline and move on to doing things that I feel like need to be done. For me, right? I appreciate everybody doing it. It's all good. Hopefully it gets some exposure out there and it gets some things, get some positivity going or something. I don't know, but I always feel like the bucket challenge thing was like, oh, okay, I'm going to make a video that people can click like and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know. I have mixed emotions. And I just don't think I'm going to do it because I have those mixed emotions. I don't know. Let's see. Barbara Jackson says, a friend of mine had insurance. She got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. She ran through the lifetime cap on her insurance, then had to sell some real estate and ended up declaring bankruptcy, and she had insurance. That's right. So when the time I was in the hospital that I was talking about earlier was so the total bill was like, I think the total bill was like $96,000. My insurance covered a bunch of it, and then the hospital was coming after me for like another like $6,000, and I eventually, like, I spent so many times on the phone just going, no, I'm not going to give you money. No. They'd be like, well, we need more money from you, and I'm like, for what? And they're like, well, we only got like $88,000. And I was like, yeah, be good with that. You'll be fine. And they were like, well, there's still some money that you need to pay. And I'm like, look, I already paid the insurance company the $4,000 that I had. I gave that all to the insurance company, right? Because I needed to meet my minimum out-of-pocket nonsense, whatever that meant. And I was like, look, I told the hospital, I was like, look, if you guys feel like, it's like, if you guys feel like you need another $5,000, that doesn't mean that I have it. Cause I was like, I don't have any money. I was like, at the time when I was in the hospital, the insurance company took my money because they needed it. And I think also my mom helped out with like $1,000 because I think my out-of-pocket thing was like $5,000 or something. I don't know. It was a weird time because I was pretty much not really making a whole lot of sense. But and then so I ended up talking to the hospital. I was like, look, I don't have that money. So you can keep telling me that I need to give it to you, but I'm like, I don't even have it to give to you. So, but yeah, I can totally relate to that. I guess I would have declared bankruptcy, but I didn't have anything at the time. I think I had a pickup truck and like a rental or something. So I think that was about as good as it got. And I was like, well, if I, and eventually I just argued with them long enough that they were like, well, this guy's just not going to pay. So I guess we'll go file some paperwork and it won't matter. Ow. Toothpick. Sal Sanchez with a $5 super chat saying, thanks for suggesting the Amania gracilis for the 46 half Pentagon tank. Plant looks awesome. Been 1 week since I put them in. Hashtag flu balls tripping. You're very welcome, Sal. Thank you for chipping in on the show, helping keep the wheels greased here. The plutonium for the flux capacitor. You know, jokes. I don't have any plutonium or a real flux capacitor, but I do have a crazy painting behind me that I wish was further progressed, but I'm happy to say we are making a lot of progress on things that we need to get done here for some big projects coming up, and one of them is going to be the koi pond, which I am chomping at the bit to get that going, but we have to do the first steps before we can start doing the other steps, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty excited. Let's catch up with some of the chat here. Crazy Leg says, have you ever heard of flight training? Yes, I have heard of flight training. Okay. Ryan Brown says, murder planes with the yeah, I don't think we should keep buying that nonsense. Phil Emerson says it's to protect the oil interests around the world, not freedom or patriotism. I know. It's a much convoluted situation, which I think, I think there's a lot of Americans that don't live near all the military bases like I do. I'm near so many military bases in Western Washington has military bases all over the place. Boats, planes, all sorts of stuff. So maybe a lot of people don't. Maybe a lot of people don't get it, but I don't know. I've been around it so much. Let's see. Oh, Mellow Moogle says someone got butthurt about Joel's rant. I'm sure they do. They have a tendency to get butthurt, and that's okay. You know, I don't mind. Everybody's got feelings. Everybody's got opinions, and that's all good. And I'm not telling anybody to do anything in regards to if I'm in a rant where I'm just talking about things that I think about or whatever. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm just telling you my opinion. Whereas if somebody was going to ask me about, say, ick or something like that, right? And I'd be like, okay, here's how to treat for it. Here's how I treat for it. Bop, 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 bop. Here's the steps. Here's what happens. Yada, yada, yada. That would be, here's some help with the specific thing. But if I'm just talking about some things that I have an opinion, then that's just an opinion, But yeah, I think we overpay for what we're getting out of the guns and stuff, which Niels Hansen says with a super chat of the Danish Crones 17. Try fight poverty with health care and not guns. Thank you very much. I agree with that. I did see a meme the other day that cracked me up in regards to that situation. Ernest Borgnino with the 10-pound super chat. 10-pound super chat. Crazy. 10 sterling pound. Good health and much respect to you. Oh, thank you very much. I do appreciate you guys super chatting and stuff. Like I said, I'm dead serious when I say, like, if you got a couple of bucks, just throw it at the GoFundMe. You know what I mean? I got my bills paid this month and stuff, and honestly, I appreciate the super chats big time. I really do. And they definitely go into paying for the stuff that's going on around here. I just think, at this point in time, it's a little more desperate for the Overholtz family than it is for me. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you're somebody that's like, oh, I've got $20 and I want to do it, and you want to do both. Okay, cool, man. It's all good. It's just a reality of like how I feel about the situation. As I've mentioned in the past before, it's like if I got to go wash dishes to pay my bills or do whatever I got to do to pay my bills, I'll go do that. I love everybody showing up for the show and all that kind of stuff, and I'm going to keep doing the show as best I can and keep making it better and better. But I feel like it's more important. It's more important for somebody like Caleb who doesn't have a voice. You know what I mean? I mean, the guy's 7. You know, I don't think he has a voice, and I think it's more important. Yeah. Vexing Cat with the $10 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Saying, came in late. Even with Medicare, I can't afford my MS treatment. They send you to collections. That is ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know how it can, like... I don't even know how it can sustain like this. I don't know how it could continue to sustain. Like, somebody with MS can't even get it handled. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Priscilla MK says, when I started my immigration process, they wouldn't give me a social security number for 2 years. I couldn't get insurance. Gallbladder surgery was $75,000 bill. If I would have known it's $10K a night, I would have gone to Switzerland. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy for sure. Matthew Smith says, are you going full-on aquaponics with the pond? I vaguely remember you mentioning it. Yes. The beginning of the chickening, you guys. The beginning of the chickening is the beginning of the aquaponic chicken koi pond cahoots madness that's going to be going on here on the property. And I'm very excited to get it going, which means it's time to go to the video portion of the show. Kieran Duncan with the £2 super chat. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Thanks, Kieran. I do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm not trying to turn people aside or anything like that. I certainly am not like here on the internet or anything like that to piss anybody off. I know that sometimes my opinions go against other people's opinions. I understand that. You know, I feel like I'm a part of the world and can go, okay, I've got this opinion. This is how I feel about something. And you know what? I could be wrong. I've definitely been wrong in the past. You know, maybe healthcare is less important, right? Maybe healthcare is less important, and maybe more rocket ship boats and airplanes and stuff is more important. But I don't think so. You know? I just don't. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we do need more rocket boats and things, you know? Maybe we do. No one has ever been able to change my opinion on that, because I haven't seen them do anything productful other than explode things, give people CTE, PTSD, trauma, death, nonsense. It just doesn't make any sense. Henaxolotl Jones with the 555 super chat, my favorite number, as you guys know, says, you are his voice and it's coming through loud and clear. Oh, thank you. Thanks, my man. I appreciate it. As I've mentioned before, Caleb is my #1 favorite fan, and that's not a slight on anybody else. He just happens to be my #1 favorite fan. And, I don't think there's any way to displace him. So I do spend probably a disproportionate amount of time saying what's up to Caleb. What's up, my man? How you doing? Keep it going. But, that's how it's got to be. Nick the Dick says, hey, Joel, I don't agree with everything you say, but I'm not going to dog you ever for your opinions, because then you could do the same for me when I'm wrong. Yeah, I think, if people have different opinions, then realistically having a conversation about them is great. I very rarely do I come at people with a real negative attitude. I mean, I know I have this weird looking angry face, but, I'm typically not a totally angry guy, you know what I mean? So, but I love having conversations with people about stuff. Nothing's really taboo, as far as I'm concerned, is like having a real adult conversation. And, you know, if somebody could really, I mean, if somebody can change my opinion on something, it definitely has happened before. What is a good example of where somebody changed my opinion? Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake would be a perfect example of something that has changed my opinion. I thought he was, you know, many years ago, right? I thought Justin Timberlake was just one of those propped up. I thought he was just a propped up kid from a recording company that just taught him through repetition of how to dance and how to sing, and here's your song, and here's your thing. And I was wrong. I was 100% wrong, because that is a wildly talented dude and just unbelievable guy. Just kind of an unbelievable all-around dude, and I was proven wildly wrong with my opinion of Justin Timberlake. Turns out he's probably the diamond of our generation. He's probably the guy that we should really hope continues on for the next. I mean, is he our Fred Astaire? Is he our? You know, I don't know. I don't even know what to compare him to. Maybe he's our Prince. You know, maybe he's our Prince, because Prince was the generation before me. You know, even though I'm a huge fan of Prince. And then, not to mention the Super Bowl, he did the tribute to Prince. Oh, my God. You know, I'm just like, love the guy. And turns out I was wrong. You ever seen him on Saturday Night Live? The guy's hilarious. So, yeah, I've been wrong before. Yo-Yos and Rainbow says, I have MS, and I get help from the MS Foundation for my shots. They cover 100% of the cost. Without them, it would be $35,000 to $40,000 a year, and I don't have or get that kind of money on disability. That's crazy. But that's crazy awesome. Maybe that can help out. Who mentioned Vexing Cat mentioned earlier that they had MS. So maybe that's somebody to look in. Maybe that's somebody to look into that can help out. The D. Thomas CG had to walk away for 20 minutes. What the heck rabbit hole did we just go down? Yeah, we go down the rabbit hole here. That's one of the reasons I like doing the 2-hour show. I can afford to go down the rabbit hole. And if you guys don't want to come with me, that's okay. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm out on your front porch, you know, yelling at your door or something crazy like that. We did come up short on the 200 people today, so maybe we will get 200 people at some point. I don't know. Our goal is to get to 1,000. If we get to 1,000 live viewers, I'm just going to give away that painting back there. Yeah, that's right. I slip it in the middle of the show. People are waiting for the video portion, and I'd be sneaking in goofy stuff. Let's see here. All right. So, time to go to the video portion. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have to do this all manually. So, it could be problematic of trying to go video portion to next video portion. The chickening, I understand, is wildly confusing because that's not even really a word. I sort of just made it up. It's sort of a play on words from the Highlander, you know, with the quickening. So I'm calling it the chickening. I want to see if this live stream will get any traction just from people wondering what the chickening is. Or does anybody ever even... Nobody ever searches chickening into YouTube. I looked it up. So maybe it'll become a new search parameter. Or maybe not. As you guys can see here, I am working out the kinks with the Canon 6D Mark II. Thank you, Aquarium Co-op Corey, wherever you're at, if you're in the show, or if you're listening today or not, I don't know. Huge appreciative madness. You know, if I can't afford to try and give back a little bit, I'd be ashamed because you know, Victor sent me cookies. He sent me coffee. I'm literally drinking coffee right now from Victor, from one of the fans. You know, the Patreon is at an all-time crazy, nonsensical level. I mean, in all honesty, I hope it goes up, but I hope it goes up so we can do more crazy projects like flying to Peru, or, you know, flying out to help somebody else with their fish tank stuff or any of that kind of stuff. But this, Mateo 501 says, you must be a bargain for hourly pay when you move this quick at a job. Yeah, I'm a bargain. It's a bargain deal. I come in at a smooth $89 an hour, and works out. I think it works out for most people. The D. Thomas says, I am down with the rabbit hole. Just came back super confused. I have no doubt our opinions differ on a ton of subjects, but you educate me and entertain me. Opinions should be discussed. Yeah, that's one of those things. Is like, I'm down to argue opinions for sure. I'm even down to argue science for sure. When new stuff comes out and stuff like that, I'm happy to talk about all those kinds of things. And no, it doesn't offend me. Unless people are just like intentionally being offended, you know what I mean? Like, or sorry, not offended, offensive. You know, there's some people out there that are just intentionally offensive to me, and it thinks maybe they're gonna get like some kind of rile out of me or whatever. But I just ban them from the channel. It's pretty easy. I just click a button and you just go away, you know. And then I don't ever have to worry about it. Chicken Lips 2 with a $2 super chat saying, I came for the chicken, but you stay for dessert, right? As you guys can see here, Vicky and I are slogging away. There will be a much more edited version of this video coming out at some point in time. But you guys that show up for the live stream... What is going on here? Why is this not working? There we go. Those of you that show up for the live stream get the early preview of a bunch of the stuff that is definitely going on within the inner workings of you know, for instance, what I like to call the chickening. Basically, what Vicky and I are doing is first and foremost, we are completely building a new chicken coop from scratch. We're sort of building the Lamborghini, if you will, the double wide trailer, if you will, of chicken coops, and getting our little hens all set up with the way that they want them, or with the way that Vicky wants it, plus to be able to incorporate better within our garden and our property here. As you guys know, last year we moved into this house here. It's about 11 months ago. Let's see. No, because it was the end of April. Was it the end of April or the beginning of April? I don't know. Either way, it was either the end of April or the beginning of April is when we moved in, which put us in such a time crunch to get things going for the summer that, you know, the value that we put in was on fixing up the house. Certain things need to be fixed in the house. We resurfaced the floors. We painted the whole place. We ran power out to the shop. We did all this crazy stuff. Built a new fish room. Things that needed to be done in order to get basically the place like set up for just the day-to-day operations, you know what I mean, of living in a house and having everything running correctly. So we had to get all that stuff done. So as you can see, we have like kind of a ramshackle fence situation, and this old chicken coop, we actually didn't build this one. We gave away our other chicken coop when we moved down here. We gave it away to a couple from like Whidbey Island or something like that. When we moved from Whidbey Island, we came down here, and we got some people from Whidbey Island. We gave them the coop, and there already was a chicken coop here. So this chicken coop here is not exactly how we would build one or how we want it to be. Like the doors are in the wrong spot. It's too small because it's currently only 3 feet by 4 feet, which is too small for our chickens, and it's too small for what we want. It's too small of a coop to like keep their food in there. It's too small of a coop for the amount of nesting boxes that we want and the amount of scratch and all the things that we want in there for them. There just isn't enough space to accommodate our little chicken herd here. I know people say flock, but I like chicken herd. It sounds like more fun. So the chicken coop that we're building now is actually going to be 8 feet by 4 feet, and it's actually 4 feet tall also on the interior. So there's going to be plenty of height inside there for a lot of nesting boxes and a lot of perch area and stuff like that. Plus, we'll be able to move all of their food and stuff inside the coop. So, which is going to be a big help because we have had a couple of varmints showing up from my neighbor's place. A couple of some of those like kind of big field mice have been showing up and stuff like that. So we need to cut down on any kind of food that is outside. So that's one of the big reasons that we're building this coop here. You guys can see sections popping up in the time-lapse video that we have set up here. We're actually building it sectionally, and then we're going to be then we're, later on in the video here, we're actually going to be assembling it and stuff like that because we built all the sections the day before, and then we assembled it all once we built it up onto the platform. Sal Sanchez is asking, are we going to insulate it? That really comes up to Vicky. I don't personally insulate chicken coops. I don't personally insulate chicken coops in the past, but Vicky definitely put some value into it, so she might actually be out there insulating it right now. I don't know. I think she was doing a dump run while I did the show here, so and then I'll be back at it. I still have to install the window and one of the other doors tonight before it gets too late, before it gets dark. Before it gets all super dark out there and everybody's scared. Mr. B's Fishing Thing says a secure granary is essential. Yeah, I think it realistically is. It is an essential thing, and right now we don't have enough space in the coop for the grain and the water and all that stuff to actually just be inside. And so one of the big things is that not necessarily is the grain a big issue, but right now the big issue is that those big old field mice, it might even be a rat, I don't know. They're pretty big. They're showing up to drink the water. I actually caught one last night that was running out to go up to the water feeder and then run off again. So that's kind of the issue. Sal is asking, being from Wisconsin, do you think I would have to? In the wintertime, in the summertime, just make sure you have a good shaded area for them. But the wintertime, it might be a bit of an issue in Wisconsin because I know it does get really, really cold out there. But the biggest issue for chickens is to keep the wind off of them. They are kind of insulated by their feathers and all that stuff. But the big issue that they have is getting wet and being out in the wind and the cold. That's the big problem that that chickens have with the cold weather and stuff and needing insulation or not. Let's see. Melamoogle says, so clearly after you get this all settled, you want me to send Vicky a ton of mealworm beetles? Yes. Yes, our chickens every day get mealworms. They do. They love them. They go crazy for them. Gone mad with the $2 super chat of rodents of unusual size. The ROUSs. Oh, I think that's blown out of proportion for sure. Those can't be real. Then he gets chomped, gets bit. if you haven't seen The Princess Bride, you definitely should go see The Princess Bride and stop missing out on the glory that is that movie. That movie is fantastic. Let's see here. All right. Bum. Okay, let's see what we got going here. Vexing Cat says, in my youth, we had chickens, ducks, and turkeys. Ducks are not too smart. We used to loose a few every winter. They would fall asleep in the pond and get frozen in place. Yes, actually, ducks are surprisingly unintelligent. They're smart for being a duck, but they just aren't that bright for whatever reason. I don't know why. Anybody want a peanut? Stop that. I mean it. Let's see. Donald's Fish Vibes is asking, does Corvus sell these chickens or it's another hobby? Yeah, we don't sell these chickens. We do give away eggs. We do give away eggs on a regular basis, and we eat them. We eat the eggs on a regular basis. We love them. Whoa, Vexing Cat lived north of Ferndale, Washington? I got trapped in Ferndale once. Wasn't that bad, actually. Couple of days, got trapped in Ferndale. Oops, I didn't resize this video. Hold on, here we go. All right. I think this is the demo. Yep, this is where we're going to break down the old one. So if you guys are watching the video, just check on the video. There's the base, you guys. You see the base of the new DeLorean-style chicken coop that's coming in? It's pretty exciting. Eric Adams with the $1.99 super chat. He's utilizing the iPhone action with the $1.99. Says, keep up the good work. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Looks like we lost a lot of viewers once the video happened. I don't know. What happened? I wonder if I offended people talking about guns and bombs and healthcare and stuff. Probably. Heather from Varuna says, nice. The chickens are going to love it. Yeah, they already do love it. They're digging it for sure, and it's not even done. Vexing Cast is Chicken Mansions. Yeah, these chickens are going to be on, what's that show? What is it? What's that show where they, like, go around to people's houses? I don't know. JH Aquatics is asking, so where in the backyard are you thinking of doing the aquaponics? All right, I can start to explain this a little bit. So as you guys see in the video here, the old chicken coop is being destroyed. It's being distraught and brought down and Hulk smashed by yours truly. And we're going to take that down. We're going to put the new coop right there. It's actually going to run along that fence line. And then here's a pause. That's kind of an unfortunate posture from Vicky, but here's where we pause it, and we engage the whiteboard. Where's the whiteboard? Oh, I have to move it up to the top. Sorry, hold on a second. Come on, little buddy. Come on, little whiteboard. Oh, we got to move it to there. Okay, there we go. So this right here is the ICB container, IBC container, ICB, IBC. That's 330 gallons of water right here. See that? That thing is 330 gallons worth of water, and I think I got to, hold on a second. Let me turn off this. Okay, then we go to that. Let me just pause this at a little more before Vicky watches the replay and freaks out. Let's clear the whiteboard. I got to change the color, you guys. You dudes. I'll go bright red. All right. So this container right here is 330 gallons of water right here, okay? Now, we have two more of these that are actually going to be installed right here and here and here. In the meantime, there's going to be one more. Eventually, there'll be a third one. So we have about 1,000 gallons of circulated water that's going to pump across the yard. and go off this way. Chaos, dog chaos. All right, let me hold on a second. Let me clear the whiteboard here. And I'm going to start the video back up so you guys can watch that.
Oh my god, you guys, it's my passport!
Oh my god, it's my passport, you guys. I can't show you my passport. But I think they legally have to knock on the door when they when they leave a passport outside. But more importantly, my filter material is here. Do you guys want to see me unbox this thing? I'm going to unbox this thing. Hold on. Hold on a second. We're going to the unboxing. Okay, there we go. Oh. Oh. Hold on. There. Let me do this thing right here real quick. There. Whoops. All right. Where's this going to? Gosh, they got like 40 labels on here. All right, hold on. There. 40 inappropriate labels. Ugh. Oh, good point. Bracken has a good point. I gotta zoom the camera out. Whoosh! There we go. Okay, so this came during the show, so I figure I'm gonna unbox it real quick. Because I've never done a live unboxing of this, so I might as well do it real quick. All right, so this is the filter material I use. This is how it comes. If you guys click the links down below, you can... There are links for this in the Amazon stuff, and I do believe that Aquarium Co-op is carrying it now. If you guys go buy stuff from Amazon, click through the links. Thank you very much for your support. If you guys go buy stuff from Aquarium Co-op, like a bunch of plans and stuff plants, products, Easy Green, whatever, any of that kind of stuff. If you guys are going out to buy those the Fluval 3.0 lights and stuff like that, be sure to click through my link, because then it says I sent you. And I'm currently in a competition with some other people about whether or not I can send more people, and I am way behind. And we're only 2 days into the month. I'm down by 7 people already. But yeah, this Puro Clean, this is the one I use quite a bit. They have 3 different kinds: the PermaGuard, Ultra Guard, and Clean Guard. This one here is the Clean Guard, is the one I get. And it comes in these rolls. Check this out. So it actually comes in these rolls, right? And each one is like, I think each one of these is 6 feet long. So you can think about how much filter material that is. The reason I like this stuff is because it's like, I think it was like $22, and then it's weird shipping. Like, it's shipped from wherever, like, super slowly. But this just makes so many filters. And so I do, because, like, so once I get low, what I'll typically do is, like, I'll just order up a box when I get low, and then I know that it's going to take like a week or 2 weeks or something like that for it to show up, because it comes up like super slow, UPS ground from wherever it's coming from. I don't know, you might be like super close to wherever they are, and it might come super fast. I don't know. So But that's the stuff that I use a lot. Is this Puro Clean? I use this for almost all of my stuff, and I definitely would go that route if I were me. And if I were you, it's definitely helpful. It's definitely helpful product. And like I said, it's like $22 for like that much filter material. So, you know, Bracken says Rob's blue shrimp is almost done. Oh, is that for Rob? Is that for Rob? I don't know. I don't know if that's for Rob. It might be for Rob. Who knows? Jeff Rose Fish Keeping with a $5 super chat saying, just a little tip jar cash. Thanks for always being upbeat and helping me mellow out on a Friday night while I change all the water in my tanks. Well, thanks for showing up, man. Thanks for showing up, and thank you for the super chat. We missed a super chat also while I was out at the door. But Alyssa Bentley is saying MTV Cribs. Savannah Morrow says MTV Cribs. Jeremy Jetpack says MTV Coops. So, yes, at some point in time, these chickens are probably going to show up on some kind of show like Cribs or something like that. Hold on. There we go. We got the medium setting on the camera there. But we did miss a super chat from Mr. Tim Lewis himself, one of our big supporters, Tim Lewis. With a $9.99 super chat saying, for the chickens, thanks for all the shows. Honestly, thanks for you guys showing up. You guys always show up. You guys always show up so much support. I appreciate it. And like I said, I'm not trying to push anybody to buy anything. I'm just saying if you do, go through the links. That's all. You just go through the portal. It just says I send you, and that's it. It doesn't change anybody's price on anything or any of that kind of stuff. It's just if you're going to buy something, cool. If not, then don't worry about it. But let me go back to the video portion and make sure we get fully through all of this. And what I was working on before was explaining where all the aquaponics are going to go. So right here and right here and right here, those ICB containers are going to go up on a rack. And this is where water, actually when I do water changes from my freshwater tanks, actually goes into these holding tanks here, which will outflow underground out that direction, this direction here, right? And go over to where the koi ponds are going to be on the other side of the other side of this back, our property, the other side of our property over there. It'll head off that way. I don't know what this is. This is kind of looking like something here. Maybe we'll give it a little, fill in some eyes, give it a little kind of a crazy mouth, right? Give it some ears, like a kind of a swoopy hair thing going on. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Now we're cooking with fire. Look at this. It's going to be good. But that's where that's going to go. And so eventually the koi ponds will be over there. This big run right here through the middle, we're actually currently rebuilding the fence. So there's going to be a whole new fence here to replace this janky nonsense that was previously existing. And there'll be a new fence that goes across here also. It goes through there. And then the raised beds are going in over this weekend. More of them, more than we have now, are going in here and going over this way. It'll all make a lot of sense once it's done. Right now it's sort of just in the middle, and I definitely want to give you guys a preview of what's going on, because as the work gets done, hopefully it helps to explain to you guys in a better way than just posting like a 2 or a 3 or a 4-minute video onto YouTube that you're like, oh, okay, I get it, because we've kind of been going along for the ride and hopefully answering some questions for you guys and stuff like that. Michelle Shear with the $1.99 super chat saying, buy some mealworms with a mealworm emoji. I don't even know that. Or like maybe it's a centipede. Oh, it says bug. It looks like a centipede. Maybe it's a mealworm. I don't know. Definitely dig it, though. Thank you very much. It's crazy all the people that can super chat now from your iPhones. Bentley Pasco says, see you at Reefworks, Joel. Time for me to crawl home through traffic on 405. Oh, man, that is a relentless drive. This time of day at 4:30, it's going to be brutal. Sorry to hear that, Bentley. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll have some chats and some laughs, and I'll definitely get some video while off at the Reefworks tomorrow for sure, too. So let's see. Oh, we got to replay this. All right. New coop going in. The new coop going in is pretty... I have to admit, it's pretty exciting that we're finally getting to this point. Finally getting to this point where we can get the new coop in, because once the new coop is in, all these new fences in, all that kind of stuff, that means that I'll be primed and ready to start working on getting the koi ponds and stuff in, which is going to be crazy awesome. I think it's going to be crazy awesome for you guys, because the systems that I'm building might be a little large for a lot of people, but you guys would definitely be able to downscale them. If you don't, obviously, if you want to build the same thing, you could do the exact same thing. But I think a lot of people are going to be like, this thing is way too extensive for me, and most people will be able to want to downsize it and that kind of stuff. As Michelle Davis, or that's not Michelle, that's Michael. Sorry, Michael Davis says aquarium chicken coop. That's right, the aquarium coop. Big Dream says, I want to buy a home and get me some chickens and a fish room. I know recently there were some people that were commenting from Rob from Flip Aquatics did a little walkthrough on our fish room here, and they were wondering, hey, why did you build your fish room so small? And here's the thing. Vicky and I intentionally built the fish room small because I'm like a crazy person, and I will just keep making I'll just keep adding more and more tanks. I'll just keep adding more and more tanks. It'll just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we intentionally limited the size of the room to just go like, this is the room where fish tanks are. If they're not going to be in here, then that's it, So that's the reasoning for building it so small. I mean, I could have remodeled the whole garage and had a ton of tanks in there and stuff like that, but then I wouldn't have space for a workshop. Then I wouldn't have space for a wood shop. I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the stuff that I do because everything would be displaced by fish tanks. So people were asking, are your plans to do bigger projects? And I'm like, oh yeah, I have many plans to do bigger projects. Eventually someday I will do eventually someday I'll be growing and doing a giant nursery, and some giant tanks and stuff like that. As you guys have noticed probably from the Patreon, that our big goal on the Patreon is to get to a certain point. If we have a ton of people kicking in on the Patreon, I don't think any of us are able to like just pay out this kind of money. Like, I don't know anybody that has this kind of money, but to put in a 20,000 gallon tank is going to cost about 26 grand. If the Patreon gets to that point, I'm committed to putting one in. But that would actually even be outside. Like, that unit wouldn't even go inside because it's a 20,000 gallon aquarium. That's basically what's going to cost. It's going to cost about 26,000 to get one. So that's one of the reasons why the goofy goals do exist on the Patreon, is because at some point in time I'd love to do a giant tank like that. I just can't afford it out of pocket. But long term, my plan is to actually do a nursery, aquaponics system, small farm, and all that kind of stuff. We're definitely going to be doing that at some point in time, but that obviously is going to be a big move, reinvestment of money and all that kind of stuff. So we'll eventually get to that. So, I'm considering it to be probably in the 5-year plan or something like that, is where I'm going to be able to do, for instance, get a big warehouse somewhere and actually start building out a big nursery, which is virtually impossible for me to do in the area that I live in. As a lot of people know, I live in like the top 5 most expensive areas in the United States, and living off a top ramen budget, it's not exactly going to work. It's not exactly going to work very well for me to step into, a project like that, because it's just how expensive and overinflated all the property is here and stuff like that. I know a little while ago, a friend of mine posted an old shed that had fallen over. Right. Let's see here. Oh, so my moderators have made it apparent that maybe the Amazon link on my website isn't working right. Okay, I'll check into that after the show. But yeah, I definitely will look into that. Weird. Okay. Sorry, I got a notification. Let's see here. Let's go back to this. Let's see. Let's check out what's going on here. All right. So, yeah, a friend of mine posted a meme that was actually just like an old shed falling over with a price tag on it of $800,000, which isn't outrageous for the Seattle, Bellevue area nowadays. There's, if you have just like a stamp of nothingness of land, they're basically going to charge $1 million for it. So it's kind of one of those things that, I sort of just live in an area that's I'm outpriced to actually do those kinds of projects, which is one of the reasons that we moved away from there, so that we could actually, live and work in a place that's more economical for us to continue doing projects and stuff like this. And we're gonna move even further at some point in time. But like I said, that's probably like the 5-year mark or something like that, more down the line than, like a next week thing or anything like that. It's gonna be a little bit of time, which is why I was referring to the chickening. One of the big things with the chickening is that I have recently been talking about it, like on the Real Fish Talk and a couple other places, that how a chicken coop and koi or fish ponds or whatever you want to call them, or aquaponics or any of that kind of stuff, will all definitely go in cahoots. This will definitely go in cahoots and will be pretty darn awesome. Jeff's, let's see. Let's see. If Joel does a 20,000-gallon aquarium, he would stock it with 10 fish. Maybe I would. Maybe I'd stock it with 10 arowana. Or maybe 10 arapaima. Just to be really cool. Michael Hartley says nope. He would just do scrimps. Let's see. Johnny Zayala says 20,000-gallon cherry shrimp tank with 1 beta. Nope. Sal Sanchez says if I ever win the Powerball, I will donate 50 grand if you come out and make me one. I'd come out and, hey man, I'll come out and work on people's projects. That's for sure. I ain't afraid of that. Let's see. A lot of people saying I would just do shrimp. I actually have a big project coming up with a giant shrimp situation that's going on, and I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but that is going to be a really cool project. That is going to be a really cool project, and if you all miss that project, I'm going to say 1 million shrimp isn't out of the question, but that's going to be pretty darn awesome, honestly. Joel Gillett finished all of his water changes by 140. This is amazing. That is amazing. An outhouse on 10 square feet would probably go for $200,000. Yep, probably. Let's see, a pair of guppies, just a pair of guppies. Actually, speaking of my guppy situation, I don't have babies yet, which is driving me up the wall. So one of the things that I did, though, is I moved the male. I think the male's harassing the female a lot. So I moved the male down to the sump, just to hold him down into the sump. So hopefully we can see some babies from that female at some point in time, and we can all get super excited. But I got hamstrung into the oh, hold on, Vicky Toria is texting me. Just the I don't know if we need anything. Do you guys think we need anything else from the hardware store? I'm not sure. Don't think so. I don't know. I'm just going to say I don't think so. Dan Squire says, don't forget to check out the last 665 episodes. Actually, I want to check something here real quick. Let me look at something. Let me check out a thing. It says there's 176 people watching. That's pretty cool. Look at that. I did. Oh, now it says 175. Oh, somebody disappeared. Oh man, we lost like 5 subscribers during the show. That's pretty cool. I guess I did piss people off. I don't know. Let's see. Where's that thing? Man, where'd that thing go? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna click on that. Then we go over here. Ba 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 ba. 700 videos I have up. 700. Yeah, so check out the other 699 if you haven't checked out any of the other ones. Priscilla MK Art says, the streams are really nice to listen to. I like the streams. I can just listen and not watch, podcast style. Yeah, that's pretty much the thing. I try to do this as a podcast style. If people don't really like podcast stuff, they might not be super happy with what I produce here. But that's my goal. My goal is to be able to have this like long form conversation, be able to explain stuff to people. I know that people have noticed the influx of me making more short videos, and honestly, I'd be happy to produce more short videos if I can really get the time to do them. But I've never really been, I was never really one of those guys that ever did a video that, I've never had a video ever like go viral or anything like that. So I've never been a guy that was really like, you know, beholden to the short videos, even though I've made a ton of those short videos over the years. I never really invested in them, and one of the things that I wanted to do is have more long conversations like this. I mean, if you call it like a radio show or like a podcast or something like that, where you can actually talk about stuff, then that's what I always wanted to do. But I like doing those short videos. But like I said, I've never had anything like go super viral or anything like that where I had to where I thought like, wow, I got to keep making these videos, because like even so, like I did a killifish video. Let's see, March 1st. So that actually came out yesterday. Got like 2,000 views. A lot of response from people and stuff like that, right? Which is awesome. That's so awesome to get like 2,000 views, but that's like that's just right in there with like my normal videos, you know what I mean? Like this one has 2,000, this one has 2,000, this one has 1,100, this one has 1,400, this one, you know. So like it's awesome to put those out and then like 2,000 people watch them, which is rad. But I never had a but I've never like been in a position where I have to make these short shows, and so that's why I make this long show. And I know that it's not for everybody. And I've had, you know, plenty of messages from people that are like, dude, I don't like this stupid long show that you make. But that's what I like to make. I like to have this conversation. And if it really means that there's only 160 people, 162 now, that actually want to be here for the long conversation, then so be it. That's what I'm just going to keep rocking and rolling, you know? I did notice, and you know, one of those things that's kind of funny is that, like, if people don't like this show, typically what I end up hearing about is that they go and they tell other people. They go tell other people that they don't like it, and then, like, they go into other people's chats and stuff like that, and say stuff like, "Oh man, Corvus was like trying to get us to buy his camera," and it's like, no, man, the wish list is there, the Patreon is there, all that stuff is there, and yeah, this is my show, so I'm supposed to talk about the stuff that I do, right, on my show, right? So, yeah, I'm supposed to talk about that stuff on here, right? Whereas those people will take a grievance that they have from me into someone else's show, and then go throw it up there in the chat, like just internet verbal diarrhea, right? Just like throw it up on someone else's chat, right? So that's kind of the thing that always throws me off in regards to that, is that, like, why are you talking to somebody else about a problem that you have with me on their thing when they're trying to do their thing? You know what I mean? It just makes no sense to me. It's totally crazy. And it's always kind of laughable, but I'm, you know, I would say, like, if we have 207, so let me see here. Oh, let me check this out. We might have a new Patreon. Who knows? Oh, we do. We have a new Patreon. So 274 patrons. If I have 274 patrons, and those are the only fans of this show, cool. I'm gonna keep doing it. You know. So it's just pretty funny though that there are lots of people out there that just want to throw the hate out there, and it's hilarious that, like, they think it doesn't get back to me, you know, that they're like, oh, I'm just going to go in someone else's chat and just say a bunch of nonsense, and then he'll never know. And it's like, okay, cool. Guess what? Now you're banned. See you later. It's pretty funny, though. But we have a 666 super chat from the Olympia Girl Aquatic, I think is what it stands for. Oli Girl Aquatic. Saying, can you medicate pregnant fish? I'm concerned my endlers have worms. I want to medicate, but I have a very pregnant female and I don't want to hurt her. Honestly, if there's an issue to medicate for it regardless of whether they're breeding or not or any of that kind of stuff, because more often than not, so like let's say you have calamus worms or something, right? This is going to cause a way bigger problem down the line for the whole group of endlers, for everybody in the tank, right? And that's the whole reason we want to medicate, is because we got to get rid of this, because this is a life-threatening situation, whether it's ick or scarlet, whatever it is. We need to medicate because we need to help out our fish, our invertebrates, our snails, whatever. Oh, sorry, I got to rub my eyes, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, I had to rub my eyes really bad, but I had to get to it. But if we're trying to medicate, it's because these things are going to be it could be killing the fish and all that stuff, right? That's the reason that we need to medicate. So you need to get on it for sure. The big thing is that even if it is dangerous for the fish while they're pregnant, right? If they're full of babies and all that kind of stuff, especially with live bearers, it's going to be a bigger problem for the offspring if whatever we're treating for isn't treated by the time they come into the aquarium, right? So those little tiny organisms, they're probably going to be super susceptible to whatever it is that we're trying to treat for, and then that just gets exponentially, I guess, exacerbated. Check out Big Word Day. Basically the problem gets worse and even worse further on, because whatever we're trying to treat for is, you know, there's more of whatever we're trying to treat for, like the worms, you know, like the worms are further along. So I would definitely treat now and start to get that back into place. And especially with endlers, they're always breeding. So don't don't hold back from treating for something that you know is going on. If you know something like that is going on, I got the light in my hands and I'm fiddling with it, you guys. Episode 666. Oh. But I would definitely get the treatment handled for that right away. And Endlers are always breeding, so they'll keep breeding after. Tampa Tom with a $1.99 super chat with no question on it, but let's say right above him, Nick says, "You're good, Corvus. Screw the haters." Yeah, but I like to throw it in every once in a while just so that they know that I know that they know that I know. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty funny. Steve Shrimpery, and more with the $2 super chat says, "Made it for the end. All hail the beast. Hashtag pound 666. Hashtag 666. Hashtag pound. Hashtag pound." The D Thomas CG with a $2.63 super chat. "Some people just thrive on negativity. Do you, bro?" Yeah, man. I'm all about doing it. I just like every once in a while, it's a 2-hour show, so every once in a while I like to address it just to let them know. Because I know they're listening and just be like, I know that you know that I know that you know. Oh. Let's see. Stefan Lawrence with the $2 super chat saying, "How is the weather up your way lately?" Oh, I didn't give you guys really a weather report today, but I'll tell you this. It's cold outside. It was kind of clear, partly cloudy, and then it rained, and then there was a thunderstorm, and then there was a bunch of planes flying around. Pretty much chaos. But not that bad. It's getting better and better and better, and so it's coming along. Borg Aquatics is talking about the hardest part is counting your calories. Expertise is easy, or exercise is easy. What's going on here with the calorie taking? What's going on here? Borg Aquatics. What is going on here? So far, so good. I've lost almost 6 pounds on my diet. 87 more days till I reach my goal, 30 pounds. Oh, nice. I like that. Love to hear. So what's he got going? Borg Aquatics got going is 1,500 calories a day, walk 5 to 6 miles a day. If I could give you a little piece of advice as far as the calories and that kind of stuff of like losing weight, don't count the calories, just improve the quality of food that's going on, because you can actually you can actually take in more calories if you're eating the right stuff. It's like avocado steak, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like there's the sugar, there's negative stuff that need to be handled. But maybe if calorie counting is working for you, then maybe that's gonna continue working. Maybe it's easier to track it that way. We got Alvin Alejo, who actually is brand new to the Patreon. Thank you very much, Alvin, with the $2 super chat, because iPhones can't double zero with this emoji right here. Right? Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much for the patronization. Thank you very much for showing up for the show. Earl D. Leckler. Can I use water softener in my aquarium, or is it better to use the harder tap water? Sorry, man. I'm a little bit confused about that question. I wouldn't use water softener, but if you do have really hard water and you're trying to bring down the pH and whatnot, there are real easy ways to do that, like adding driftwood, catappa leaves, almond leaves, those kinds of things. You could even do some peat if you like to bring the pH down a little bit. The hardness can be useful because you can breed certain things in the hard water. So I would just more accommodate to what your water is, or I would just pre-filter it before you're putting it into the tank. Placo Nation with the $2.99 super chat. There's no question on there, so I'll read the... Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to try and find one here. Stephen Lawrence says, lol, sorry, I'm a over-the-road truck driver heading out to Minnesota in the morning. Oh, if you're headed out to Minnesota, the weather's going to be brutal out there. I'm over in western Washington, though, so the weather actually isn't that bad here at all. I think we might be going out to Minnesota, Michigan, that kind of stuff in a couple of months. Hopefully the weather's not crazy by then. 54 Punchy says she's fueled by coffee, and I say, yeah, me too. Yep, for sure. But 54 Punchy with a $2 super chat saying, damn, I'll have to be more careful. I'm not sure what you got to be more careful for, but sounds good. Let's see. Me too, Mellow. What's going on? Cut out added sugar, I should say. Oh, cutting out sugar out of your diet. Yep. It's probably a good thing. I should probably do more of that, but ice cream is delicious. Mr. B's Fishing Thing says, don't fight your water. Keep what likes your water. That's true. I would definitely agree with that. It just depends on how much you want to filter your water, if you can. If it really is one of those things that, you know, I wouldn't think that the Midwest would be a great place for like a reef aquarium, because you have to filter your water so much from there. You have to give away or you have to filter so much from the Midwest, but there are a ton of people doing reef tanks in the Midwest and doing it pretty well with the Rhodey filters out there. So that's working pretty well for a lot of people. I never would have thought that would have been a great way to go with it. But you could, and it does work. So you could always pre-filter your water, and that'd be a good way to go about it, realistically. Rob Hicks Aquariums with the Canadian $2 super chat saying, giveaway at 777. It'd be hard-pressed to say episode 777. I don't know when that will be. So I've said, so, okay, here's the thing. So let's say I do 3 shows a week. If I do 3 shows a week, that's 150. So that'd be somewhere like near the end of the year where episode 777 would be. And hopefully we should be a little more, or we should be doing the Oceaneers should be stronger by then. There should be more Oceaneers by the end of the year, right? So that's why I say, like, if we get to 1,000 live viewers, I'm going to do the giveaway, because that doesn't mean like, oh, well, y'all have to wait 10 months or whatever until we get to another number. That's why, because the live viewers, it's a fluctuating thing. It can go up, it can go down. And if it goes up, then hopefully we hit that point where it's like, oh, man, it's time to do a giveaway because this is getting crazy, right? So that's kind of the idea. Episode 711, Slurpee time. That'd be weird if episode 711 lined up with 711. That'd be weird, right? But we're coming up on the end of the show. Thank you guys for coming out for 2 hours and hanging out with yours truly and everybody else from the Fish Fam here. I want to say a quick thank you to all of the super chatters today. I got to go through them. It's a pretty long list here. Potato, thank you very much. Rum Bust, thank you very much. Guppy Guru, oh man, thank you. Weldon Aquatics, thank you very much. Joel Gillett from New Zealand, thank you, man. Kyle Paith, the Zombie Drummer twice. Aqua Naturalist, thank you. Niels Hansen, thank you very much. LG3 Nation, the Fishy Mailman, be sure to send that email to me, and we'll be getting on that for sure. Thanks for the super chat also. Sal Sanchez, thank you very much. Matthew Smith, thank you very much. Niels Hansen again. Hermes Borgnino. Someone was going down the wrong pipe there. Ernie's Borgnino with the 10-pound. Thank you very much. Vexing Cat with the $10. Thank you very much. Kieran Egan, 2 pounds. Hanaloxolotl Jones. Thank you very much. Chicken Lips 2, Gone Mad. Eric Adams, Tim Lewis. Jeff Rose, Fish Keeping. Michelle Steiner. Oli Girl Aquatics. I think that's from Olympia. I'm not sure. Tampa Tom, Steve, Shrimper. Thanks, my man. The D. Thomas GC, thank you very much. Stephen Lawrence, Alvin Alejo, Pleco Nation, 54 Punchy, Rob Hicks Aquariums. And we got another super chat here at the end. Whoa. I'm just going for a long Friday, you guys. We have a fantastic week this week. I'm super excited. Things are going pretty darn well, man. I got no complaints. It's going to be hard work, and I'm going to keep working hard, but it's been a lot of fun. We do have another super chat from Ms. B NRP as asking, aside from RO, reverse osmosis, is there another way to remove solids from the water, trying to lower TDS to cut tap water for crystal shrimp? Love the show. Yes, I actually use a 3-stage, what's called a push filter. It doesn't actually have the RO portion of the Rhodey unit. It actually has a pre-filter, and then it has a charcoal filter, and then it has a deionization. Now, I don't always need the deionization. I basically use that for any of the reef water and stuff like that. But I do find it sufficient to actually pull any of the solids out of the water, and it lowers a little bit of the TDS, that's for sure. It's going to grab a lot of that stuff. But we are coming up on the end of the show. Hopefully that answers your question. I don't mean to, like, run out the door, but the projects are ongoing, and the sun is starting to go down, so I need to get outside, hang some windows, and build a door before it gets dark out. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Thank you, everybody, for another glorious week. Sorry to the patronizers. I didn't get to the Patreon questions, so I will try to type those in later tonight, I don't know, over the weekend or some. I don't know when I'll get to them. I'm trying. I'm really trying, you guys. But it's really hectic and busy. I'm super excited for everything that's going on. We're going to keep on keeping on and rocking and rolling. Thank you, everybody, for coming out again. I'm just keep saying thank you. But Mitz B, NRP, I do have some older videos that do have that filter, the push filter, set up in them, so hopefully you can go check that out. Maybe somebody can help point you in the right direction to where those are, because I really don't know off the top of my head where those videos are. But thanks again, everybody. I got to go and do my thing outside with the chicken thing and the chickening. Thanks for coming out for episode 666. Later.